Today was a wonderful day for us. It started out with rain, it ended up with sun, and in between we got to dedicate our shofar Krakow.
So, what's the Parsha, pani Zosia?
Parshat Nitzavim. This week, Jews around the world are preparing themselves for the high holy days, for Rosh Hashanah and for Yom Kippurim. During these days, Jews gather together, certainly have wonderful meals and apples and honey, and they might hear the shofar. But also, more than any other time in the Jewish year, Jews come to the synagogue. And it's at this time that Jews who are familiar and comfortable in the synagogue, they have their place, they have their siddur. The other types of Jews who don't necessarily come so often might feel a little bit out of place. And they might ask themselves, is this really for me, or am I just a visitor? I'm a bit of a stranger in this synagogue experience. And I think a message from Parshat Nitzavim answers and speaks to this very issue. Moses, after 40 years of traveling with the children of Israel, is standing with them, overlooking the land of Israel. And he has one final thing he wants to share with them. He says, Atem Nitzavim. You're standing here, and you're all here ready to enter into the covenant of God. Yes, there was a covenant in Mount Sinai 40 years before, but now they need a new covenant, the next generation. And in Mount Sinai, it was all about the priests and the Levites and the elders and the firstborn. And perhaps those who were less connected didn't really have a place. But Moses tells the second generation, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. You are standing here today, all of you. And then it says, Roshechem Shiftechem, the leaders of your tribes, Ziknechem V'Shotrechem, the elders and the ministers, certainly they're the highest echelon, Kol Ish Yisrael. But then he says, Tapchem, your children too belong here. Nishechem, of course your wives belong here. V'gercha asher b'kerev machanecha. And the foreigner, the convert, the stranger, he belongs here too. But then Moshe goes one step further, because everyone had slaves, that really weren't connected. They were the lowest level of society. They might have been part of the Jewish people, but they totally didn't care about them. They were called the Mechotev Eitzecha, the Chotvei Eitzim, and the Shoavei Mayim, the wood choppers and the water carriers. And a question can be asked, why does Moses single out wood choppers and water carriers? If he's saying everyone, it should be everyone. Why do you have to say specifically not only the elders and not only the youth and not only the women, but also the wood choppers and the water carriers? And Rabbi Hertz explains, according to the simple interpretation, that Moses wanted to convey one message. You belong in this covenant. And when I say you, I'm not referring to the rabbis only. I'm not referring to the highest echelons. I'm referring to the people who might feel the least comfortable being in this covenant. You belong here. In fact, the covenant is specifically for you. I would say this message applies very greatly to Rosh Hashanah and to the synagogue. The message is, you belong in the synagogue. It's your home, it's your community, it's your holiday. Even if you don't read Hebrew so well, even if you don't know all the prayers so well, even if you haven't been there in a long time, you belong. It's for you. It is for all of us to take part in. And perhaps that's the message of the shofar. When we have the shofar as the mitzvah of the day, it's in the synagogue. And we generally say, well, there should be a special prayer that only those who know it by heart, or a special prayer that only those who can read Hebrew. But what's the magic of the shofar? It's just a sound. Anyone can make this sound. If you have air in your lungs, you can make this sound, you can blow the shofar, you can give that blessing, that prayer to God. You're as equal as the next one, and you belong. And therefore, on this holiday season, of this time of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim, the message that Moshe Rabbeinu wants to tell all of us: we all belong. We all should feel comfortable. We should all should feel connected, because it's our turn to enter the covenant and to hear the shofar and to have a happy and healthy new year. Shabbat Shalom. Shana Tova.